Bonjour tout le monde. Well done, and isn't it lovely that we're all back in school now and we're all together to share our assembly together on a Monday morning. Been looking forward to this day for quite a long time now, haven't we? And it's finally arrived. But hopefully many of you will have been listening to the assemblies from home, and I know some of you, the key worker children, you've been in school and you've been listening to our assemblies in school. So you should know what our theme is for the time being. When we were in autumn and it was the start of the autumn term in September, our theme was TEAM, Together Everyone Achieves More. But now our theme has moved on. When we're in January, and I know we weren't in school, but those of you again might know that in January we had a new theme, and it was Shine Your Light So Brightly that others can see their way out of the dark. And we had assemblies around that theme, about being good role models, about being the person that you want to be, that others would look up to and copy and model their behaviour on you, so that you were shining so brightly that other people that perhaps weren't were able to look to you and could follow your light, and you were a beacon. But again, half term and we've moved on, and we have a new theme now, and here it is. Here's our new theme. Like I say, you should know it, but hopefully when I walk around school today, many more of you will know it, and you'll be able to talk to me about it. So, learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. Look forward to tomorrow. We wanted all the L's. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow, or look forward to tomorrow. Once you choose hope, anything is possible. And we've been thinking about this theme now for a couple of weeks, but I just want to recall last week's assembly when I talked about how living for today is almost the bridge between the other two statements. So what happened yesterday, what is in the past? Live for today is the bridge that takes us into the future, and that's looking forward to tomorrow. But that bridge connects the past with the future, because actually what you're able to do today is very much dependent upon what you were taught in the past. So if you are able to walk today, and you can, you've all come to school today using your legs. If you're able to walk today, it's because at some point in the past you learnt how to walk. You certainly weren't born able to walk. So at some point in the past, something that happened yesterday, or even further back than yesterday, but something that happened prior to today, helped you to get to the point today where you are able to walk. If you're able to talk today, it's because of something that happened in your past. So something from yesterday happened. You were taught how to speak English. You weren't born able to do that. You were taught it, and your wonderful parents and the people that surrounded you in those early days of your life, and all that education that happened through talk has taught you how to speak English. And that's fascinating to me, because if you'd been brought up in Russia, actually today you would have been speaking Russian. You are a product of what has happened to you yesterday and in the past. What you're able to do today is a consequence of learning that's happened prior. So if you've arrived at school today knowing your multiplication tables, knowing your times tables, it's because you've learnt them in the past. If you arrived at school today knowing your spellings on your spelling list, it's because you've learnt them in the past. And if you arrive at school today not knowing those things, it's because the past has been and gone and happened, and you haven't put the effort into learning those things, and therefore today you don't know them. And then moving forward, what you do today will actually impact on what you are able to do tomorrow and what you are able to do in the future. So what you put the effort into knowing today will have an impact on what you are able to do tomorrow. And the assembly last week was about the hare and the tortoise, and the theme was tomorrow starts today. If you put the effort into it today, if you build your skills today, then tomorrow you'll win the race. Tomorrow you'll have a good day. So our theme for today in the assembly I want to talk to you about today is a theme called perseverance. It's something about making an effort today and going for your goals today so that tomorrow it will have an impact. So today, when we get to tomorrow, we will call it yesterday. So today will be in the past very, very quickly. Today, make it count so that when it's tomorrow and you can look back on what you achieved today, it will matter. So we're thinking about perseverance today. Who knows who these people are? Let me just see if I can make myself a little bit smaller. There we go. So LM, who is that? Bet some of you know. Are you all telling your teacher who that is? Argentinian football shirt. I'll come back to it in a minute. And who's this? UB, Jamaican shirt. Looks a bit sweaty. Looks like he's just run 100 metres maybe. Run a race very, very quickly. And who's this? Tennis player, SW. Brilliant surname, fantastic surname. I wish I could say she was a relative of mine, but isn't. Have we got them? Lionel Messi, yeah, Usain Bolt, and Serena Williams. Fantastic sportsmen and women, great achievers. But it's important to recognise that they are where they are. They've achieved their goals. Fantastic footballer, plays for Argentina. 100-metre world champion tennis player. They weren't born that way. They weren't born knowing that that was going to happen. They have worked hard and worked hard and worked hard and practiced and persevered and set themselves a goal and worked for it. They don't wake up in the morning and do nothing and then the next day go and play football or go onto the tennis court or go and run 100 metres. If they did that, having put no rehearsal time in or not built up their skill, they wouldn't be the people they are today. So what they did yesterday, their past, is impacting on what they did on the day, so that they've got a grand future in front of them because of all the things that they've achieved throughout their life and all the effort and the determination and the practice that they've shown. This is a gentleman called Robert the Bruce. RTB would have been his initials at the top, but you wouldn't have known that. But Robert the Bruce, I'm going to tell you a story now about Robert the Bruce and how he learned by watching a spider, and the perseverance of the spider taught him a lesson. And we're going to hear the story now of Robert the Bruce and the story of perseverance. Robert the Bruce was King of Scotland. His army had been involved in many battles with the English army, and at each battle King Robert was driven further back. He was now in danger of losing much of his land. His army was tired, weary, could not see the point in carrying on fighting when they lost all the time. King Robert, feeling that everything was hopeless, went to hide for a while in a hut on the moors. The hut was poor and shabby, little more than a shed really. King Robert sat down on a rickety wooden chair, leaned his elbows on an old wooden table, put his head in his hands and sighed. What are we going to do? He thought. It's hopeless. We might as well give ourselves up, let the English army take what it needs, and they win. Just at that moment, Robert noticed out of the corner of his eye a spider dangling on a silken thread from one of the beams in the roof. He lifted his head and watched the spider. It seemed to be trying to swing from side to side. Robert the Bruce watched more carefully. The spider was trying to swing across to another wooden beam. It was trying to reach the second beam so that it could fasten its silken thread and make a web. Across the space it swung, but missed the beam and swung back to where it started. It tried again across the space, but missed and went back to where it started. Again it tried a harder swing this time, with more effort across the space. But once again, it missed the beam and went back to where it started. Again and again, the spider tried to attach its thread to the beam, and again it missed, and still Robert the Bruce watched. The spider swung again and managed this time to reach the beam. Quickly, it fastened the thread to the wood and hurried back to fasten it to a lower beam as well. And in no time now, the spider had built the foundations of its web, and it was able to finish it. Robert sat and watched, and slowly an idea came to him. Do you know what? I'm like that spider, he said. I've tried to do something. I've tried to win a battle to save my land and my country. But unlike the spider, I've given up because I've not succeeded. The spider did not give up. He kept on trying until he fastened his thread to the beam. The spider's taught me a lesson. If at first you don't succeed, try again. I will try again, and I will not give up. Robert the Bruce was now full of enthusiasm again, and he went out of his hiding place, summoned his army, and went back on to win his land from the English. So what did that spider teach Robert the Bruce? By watching it, and the spider continuing to try. Every time the spider failed, but he didn't stop. He didn't give up. He carried on, and he did it again. And Robert the Bruce watched the spider and learned from the spider and thought, well, if the spider can do it, so can I. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to go back out there, and I'm going to do the battle, and I'm going to win what's rightfully mine. And that's what he did, and that's what he went on to do. He used today purposefully. The past was in the past. What had happened in the past had brought him to the shed, but he was going to now use today purposefully, not give up, and go out tomorrow so that his future would be better. And that's what we're thinking about here at St. Peter's at the moment. Perseverance, using today purposefully, making the most of today. We cannot change the past. We cannot change the fact that we've been home learning for however long now. We cannot change the fact of what's happened to us this last year. But what we can do is make the most of today. What we can do is maximise today so that tomorrow will be even better. Invest in today so that the future is a better place for us all. Do the right thing today. Live for today well, so that actually in looking forward to tomorrow, we can look forward to a very bright future. And that's by persevering and not giving up. So what I want you to do is I want you to set yourself a goal for today. Not a goal for 20 years' time, not the goal to be the Prime Minister, or the goal to be a doctor, or the goal to be a lawyer, or the goal to be a teacher. That's too far away. If you want to achieve those things, you need to start today. So what's your goal for today? What's your goal by dinner time? What will you have achieved by dinner time today? I want you to set yourself that goal with your teachers now. Think about, by dinner time today, what will I have achieved? And make sure you achieve it. So that when I'm in the dinner hall with you today and I can ask you, What have you achieved this morning? What have you done? What can you now do that you couldn't do this morning? How far down Progress Avenue have you walked just this morning? And if you can achieve that in a morning, imagine what you can achieve in a day, in a week. What will you have achieved by Easter? What will you have achieved by the end of this term? How far will you be? How far will you have come? The past is the past. Lockdown learning happened, and loads of you engaged really, really well with that. And if you're honest, some of you didn't. Some of you, it's going to be a bit of a shock today. You're going to have to work really, really hard. But you can do it, because today is what matters. So we're going to play a song now by Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars and the Sesame Street Gang, Don't Give Up. But listen to the words and listen to it carefully, and you'll find yourself humming it around school today. Once you've played it, maybe even play it, rewind it and play it again, and you find yourself playing it all day. It'd be like an earworm. But don't give up. That's the nature of the song. Don't give up, persevere, and make today matter. Because today, you'll never get back. It will never, ever, ever be today again. So make it count. Here's the song. Have a lovely day. And always remember to, of course, learn, sparkle and shine. I'll be bobbing round school to see you. See you all soon.
Something that's new, and it seems really, really hard to do. You feel like quitting, you feel you're through. Well, I have some advice for you. Don't give up, keep on trying. You're gonna make it, I ain't lying. Don't give up, don't ever quit. Try and you can do it. Don't give up, yeah. If you want to catch a ball, but you're having no luck at all, the ball hits your head, it hits your nose, it hits your belly, your chin and toes. Well, try again. Keep on trying, and soon then you'll put your hands out in the air. You'll catch that ball, yes, this I swear. Don't give up, keep on going. You're on a boat, so keep on rolling. Don't give up, don't ever stop. Try, and you'll come out on top. Don't give up. You got yourself new roller skates, you put them on and you feel great. You stand up, but then you fall. Don't think you can skate at all. You get back up and then you trip. You skip and tip and slip and flip. Well, try some more, and soon you're skating across the floor.